From worst to best, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link bosses. Zelda 2 is a brutal platformer on the NES. It's not a game for the weak or impatient, but has a certain charm and sense of adventure. While the platforming and distances you have to survive are unforgiving, the temples are fun and the bosses are even better. I think the bosses are pretty neat and would love to see some more of them return somehow in a future Zelda title. On this episode, we are taking all of the bosses in Zelda 2 and ranking them from worst to best. Here's how these bosses are ranked. Number 1, the battle itself, how it plays and its strategies. Number 2, how does the battle affect the main character at the time of the fight? Number 3, the lore behind the boss. And number 4, the boss's design and setting. Remember, the rankings are just numbered as a list, not by importance, especially in platformers where some of the characters don't have a lot of lore. In Zelda 2, the settings are all more or less the same, so I may brush over those. As usual, name pronunciation may be different than how you say them, and some bosses in Zelda 2 reappear as mini-bosses in the Famicom version, but not in the NES version, so I won't go into that. Let's get started with the boss battle that is ranked the lowest. Kerik. Kerik is the boss of the Maze Island Palace. This creature bears a striking resemblance to the wizard seen in the manual prologue and Shadow Weaver from He-Man. I really like the design of this character, but the staticness of the battle and the lame strategy brings this boss way down. Link needs to use the Reflect spell to send Kerik's magic back at him. Kerik warps all over the place, but it's kind of lame. Link just needs to crouch and shield to win. The magic bounces right off and hits Kerik. As the 4th temple boss, Link deserved a better challenge. Ribonok. Acting as the boss of the Island Palace, Ribonok's battle starts off uniquely when he rides a mechanical horse across the screen. After Link downthrusts Ribonok's head, the powerful blue iron knuckle eventually dismounts and battles Link on foot. It's unknown whether the battles that appear later as mini-boss fights are with this same character or not. Blue iron knuckles are a pain in this game, and Ribonok often walks off-screen while still throwing sword beams. Link needs to bait him close to the middle of the arena to finish him off. Link meets him in the 3rd palace and gains solid experience against this knight, as he has many more iron knuckles to battle later on as his quest continues. Missoura, also known as Horsehead. The very first boss in the game Link faces is the horse-headed Missoura. This armored warrior swings a spiked club at Link that launches our hero back pretty far if it connects. He's Link's first major opponent in this game. Missoura actually makes a cameo appearance in the Captain N cartoon show. You have to dodge his club and strike his head at the right time. He has a cool design, but maybe a little bit too easy. Germa Fencer, also known as Helmet Head. When I was a kid, I thought Helmet Head was a vampire knight. I really like that his face looks like Nosferatu. I also really like his design. As you strike his head, he has 2 helms that get knocked off, revealing a pale face. His haunted helmets then fly around the stage and send magic blasts at Link. This boss is really easy, which is why he wasn't ranked higher. As the 2nd boss in his quest, Link is still getting the hang of his new magic, and Germa Fencer acts as a nice early test of skill for our hero. He also appears in the Captain N cartoon show. Goomba. Goomba, the 5th boss and warrior of the Ocean Palace, waits to battle Link. This boss doesn't appear in the Japanese version of Zelda 2, but stands as a memorable one in the NES version. Goomba is a giant warrior swinging a ball and chain. He wears a menacing helmet, but his body is unarmored and vulnerable. Link needs to find the patterns of his motions to get in close and slash at his stomach. This one can be tricky to gauge. It may take a little bit to judge the distance of his attacks, as sometimes he takes a step forward. I really like his design and the skillfulness it takes to beat him in this battle. Dark Link. The final boss of Zelda 2 is Dark Link. He is a fantastic warrior and matches Link's techniques. His design is just a black version of Link, and he is summoned by the Triforce Keeper to test Link's skills. The reason this battle isn't higher is because of the crouching exploit, where you can stab him in the legs from the corner. If taken as a head-on fight, this matchup is very technical. Precise hits need to be made to win. As Link's final battle, he needs to throw everything he has to be victorious in a pure skilled sword fight. Barba. Also known as Volvagia, is an excellent boss and is found in the Hidden Palace. Barba's name is actually a mistranslation, which was corrected to Volvagia in re-releases of the game. Barbara emerges from one of 3 fire pits to blast fireballs at Link. Link needs to quickly slash at this dragon's head to wear it down. Its appearance is different depending on which version of the game you play, with a Western-looking dragon in the NES version and an Eastern-style dragon in the Japanese version. It has a great design and is a fun battle for Link to platform, dodge, and strike. As you may know, the Volvagia name returns in Ocarina of Time's Fire Temple Dragon. Thunderbird. I have a love-hate relationship with this battle. I would say that it takes the most skill in the game. This boss is the final boss before Dark Link. It's said that the Thunderbird is an artificial life form that was created by the Hyrulean King to protect the Triforce of Courage. You can't hurt this creature unless you use the Thunder spell to make its head visible, so I hope you saved up your magic. Link has to dodge a flurry of attacks that increase greatly in amount and speed as the battle goes on. You have to be on your toes, and dodging itself can be grueling. Adding in the need to attack its head makes it even more difficult. The Reflect spell can help a little, and I have heard of others using the Jump spell for height to reach the head more often. Personally, I find that makes Link harder to control. So in my opinion, it's best to walk back and forth, creating a pattern to dodge. The design of this monster is intimidating and feels like a big deal. Beating this shows that you have mastered Link in Zelda 2, and that's why it's the best.